Hey everyone, Santad here. So I just finished watching the new Nintendo Direct. I was watching it live with a friend of mine on stream, but I just want to take a few moments more just to gush about and rewatch the main thing I'm super excited about, which is the new trailer and announcement for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you don't know, Xenoblade Chronicles is without a doubt my favorite game series of all time. Um, all of the games in the series do something or other unique and absolutely amazing, and bring it all together, you get an overarching story, overarching themes that, at least personally, like I guess hit different is the meme way of saying it. Like they're all the games in their own way just lost about what it sort of means to like be alive and do your own thing, and they answer it and come across different answers in different ways. So like I don't know, they're all just great in their own way. Xenoblade Chronicles X is my favorite, but so of course I was hoping for Xenoblade Chronicles X like a remake or a sequel, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was still just absolutely insane and something that I have been excited for so long. So we're gonna rewatch the trailer. I'm gonna pause a few times and just talk about basically what I see on stream. So let's go. Um, so yeah, I guess we start off with some dude playing some sort of flute, which this game, yeah, this did initially make me think Xenoblade, and then I heard the English accents, and I'm like, this could be it. Yeah, the idea of find for living to fight is something that they talk about a lot in the first game. Like the first game is thematically about a world that's in endless conflict, and a game about conflict and revenge. And it looks like they are returning thematically to that. Okay, so I bring that up because with regards to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, a lot of the theme and setting was about conflict, was about combat, whereas Xenoblade Chronicles 2, combat was the end to something else, to another human struggle. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there are wars, but the wars are wars that are needed for resources and stuff like that. So a lot of the wars are, in the context of the game, justified. Whereas in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, they say that basically the war is unjustified and the war is a war itself, for its own ends, for its own ends. That is one long extended way of saying thematically, like even just from this first line, it makes me think a lot more that this game might be a bit more like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I feel like this is something that I've reflected on and on. Spoilers for 1 and 2, by the way, in this video. But yeah. And then, bam, we get swords with blue stuff in it. So this is the same color the blade weapons are in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Initially, even like this weapon gives the same vibes that like Zeke's weapon gives in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the sort of energy-based outline. More so than in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Well, obviously, weapons in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 were more mundane. Future Connected, the sequel to Xenoblade, the direct sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and the Switch remake, did use weapons more along the style. But yeah, this is elements of Chronicles 2. And then we move on and zoom up to what I believe is Metal Face. So this is basically, yeah, this is like the, oh, it's Xenoblade for sure moment. We have Metal Face, we have what they say to be the name of the region, Ionios. That is, at the very least, sounding reminiscent of Bionis and Mekonis. So it sounds like a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 place. The one thing I want to point at and just say is that the framing of this scene is that everyone's running from left to right, with with Metal Face looking towards the right. So are we like is this supposed to be the evil people we see first? Is the first thing I'm thinking of. Like we are just from the place of the framing. They could have framed this in any way, but they chose to frame Metal Face facing the same way as these people charging forward. To me, that reads as if these are the villains or something. Or at least that this is not something that we should be supporting. War being bad or something could be something. This weapon looks vaguely Monado-like. Let me go back a bit. Yes, this weapon does look a lot like the Monado, given the energy blades, given the ring in the center. So this guy is probably our main character, a sort of Shulk character. And then we have Nia, or at least someone who is supposed to resemble Nia. She has twin wings, she has the Gormati ears. This is basically Nia in all but name, at the very least. We also see right here the core crystal, which strongly implies this to be the same Nia we haven't seen the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with the thing, with the rings. This is important because in my mind, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Nia didn't really have a conclusive ending to her arc, to her sort of story arc. Her story arc was just about accepting herself, I guess, in a way. But then what? Then what does she do with her life? Her life just goes on. It is, at least to me, it felt like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 story was Rex and Pyra/Mithras. So I guess it's nice if we do reflect on Nia, because I think Nia was quite an interesting character. She has a redesign that looks much more modern clothing-wise. It's not a simple jumpsuit. It's not the stripper outfit she gets in her alternate form in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm definitely a fan of. I do quite like this redesign of hers as well as of the Shulk sort of character. They talk about fighting one another. So yeah, I'm not sure what to take of that. Like, were they supposed to be on the same side? If we follow on what I suggested before about those people charging forward could be evil people. Actually, let's go back a bit. I always think it's very important to... I think Monolith has done a great job of creating scenes and of making scenes cinematic. So in many other cases, I would say this is overanalyzing, but I think it's very important to think about the framing of how they set at least these scenes up. And yeah, so this guy is facing from left to right as well, which at least makes us think that he is on the same side as those people who are charging forward. You might not, yeah, so I feel like it's one of those things where you just really notice it without noticing it. It seems like this character is on the same side as the people who are charging from left to right here, because they're facing the same direction. I don't like putting theories on theories, but it seems possible that when he's saying, oh, this Nia character is siding with the other people, it's possible that maybe she betrayed or turned across those first people, and thus maybe, if we follow along the idea that they're initially on the wrong side, maybe she saw the right thing, maybe Nia understood something that is wrong and decided to fight for the other side, and that's sort of our premise. Nia is in the right, I guess, in a way. I think I missed a few things. So we have gray skin. It's the same. It looks like the people from the Praetorium, the Indoline people. This guy could be Indoline from Xenoblade 2. I don't know what this tattoo marks would be supposed to represent, but yeah, this guy does look vaguely Indoline, with those more energy swords. Should we be worried about Indoline people? Is that racist to Indolines? Shield hammer from Xenoblade 2, it looks like, possibly. This person has an actual hammer, but the weapon doesn't look like it has this blade light blue energy beams. This looks like a more mundane weapon. So it's possible we have a few different power systems working at the same time. Not everything may be blade system. We might have stuff from Xenoblade 1 like this sort of either Xenoblade 1 like ether crystals and stuff like that going along here. Vandam looking character. It also sounds like Vandam. Australians canon in Xenoblade 3? I don't know. We have these people with these flutes again. So these flutes are definitely going to be relevant with just how much they occur in this trailer. I have no clue what flutes are supposed to represent. This is a Hyantia with the wings on the head. Hyantia with some sort of scythe. These sort of blade weaponry. I'm not quite sure what else I should say about this. But yeah. Whereas this character has weapons that, again, are not blade make, don't have those lapis beams. So I think it's quite interesting where we have both sorts of weapons here. Flying birds. I'm not quite sure what to take of that. I think that's just, yeah, cool new designs. They might just be trying to show off. Maybe it could be a player character. And then we get off to showing some of the locations. The obligatory green field in a Xenoblade game. This looks vaguely like, I haven't played Definitive Edition in a while, but this seems like the area underneath at the bottom of the shoulder, but I'm not 100% sure. I could just be very wrong here. But it looks great. And we have that main character here. And then we are climbing on some metal thing on a larger green field. This is interesting. This looks to me vaguely like on the Fallen Arm in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. You can climb up very high. There's this platform that you can go on. Maybe I'll show a bit in the editing. This looks vaguely like that area in the game, to be honest. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. But it definitely looks like it, and we could just having a mesh different areas. In a new area, these things look like titans in the background. You can see these large overhanging structures, which are an element that they use a lot in the Titans in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And 1, of course. But yeah, so we have these Titan designs, we have what looks like the Mechonis' arm. Actually, hold on. Let's go back like a couple of frames if I can. It's a collectible, I think. Maybe. Surprised they ran a collectible in this, but yeah, it looks like it's collectible there. Here is the Mechonis' sword, very clearly. Yep. This is more Titan-based stuff. And in the trailer, in the audio, you can hear them talking about being split by a great sword. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It could be cool. It looks like something. We have more of these collectibles actually. Now that I look at it again, so that's nice. Think we're more like, could be like Xenoblade 2 where you just go to an area and pick it up, or like 1 where you just walk into a sparkling and pick it up. They are very close together. We have 3 close together, so it looks like we are. I would be surprised if they put 3 collection points right next to one another, where you do the same animation. So this could be it's possible they go more like the Xenoblade Chronicles 1 route, with these collectibles that you just walk along and pick up. And in Xenoblade Chronicles X, of course, it's the same deal. I don't know what this area could be. This looks very metallic. This does not look something organic, so it does not look something of the Bionis. So it could be something of the Mechonis that's like buried and underneath everything else. It could be a man-made thing. The conspiracy theorist in me is like Xenoblade Chronicles X. This looks very much like Oblivion and Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't fully believe that. I hope, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if I would hope it. I think I might be happier with those universes being separate. But yeah, it's a very nice location. This looks like a Mechonis face. A face Mechon face, which is quite interesting. And it looks very, very big. None of the face Mechons are quite this large. So this may imply that some people might still be interested in the technology. Maybe that's why people are bad or so and so. But yeah. Actually, let's get back a bit more. Nah, I was going to say maybe these light blue things are those like blood that flows through the veins of the face mechon, but no, I'm not sure if I believe that. It doesn't look like... Because those things were designed to be reminiscent of veins and arteries. This does not look like that. So maybe not. This place gives me vibes of Araya in XENOBLADE Chronicles 2, but I'm not quite sure if that's supposed to be the case. But still, it's cool. We have... Well, it looks like... Actually, this looks a bit like Siren from XENOBLADE Chronicles 2. These are actually similar particle effects for the ones they use for the Skeleton X. But, well, we get airships. Looks like this thing is huge. I'm not quite sure where this is. Must be some sort of man-made structure. We have floating islands. Small floating islands. This doesn't make sense in the world of XENOBLADE Chronicles 1 off, like, towards the end of it, because the only floating islands were rather... I don't think we had islands that were this small floating adjacent to one another. So, I don't know. I have no clue what this could be, but it looks cool. Ooh, this is probably a party, actually. So we have Nia, we have a sort of main character. Is this that Interland person I saw before? And we have this girl over here, who I think we saw walking in the previous walking. Yep, same girl here. And we have the high Antia person in our team. So yeah, lots of characters. So you have Scarf Dude, Nia, high Antia girl, Shulk Dude, and Interland Dude. So that's 6. Wait, hold on a second. That's 4 people walking at the same time, not 3. Unless one of them's a guest? But no, that's a lot of people. That's more than the typical 3 members you would get in a typical XENOBLADE Chronicles game. Of course, in X you could have 4, but yeah, interesting. Oh, actually. It's the owls. This is a returning enemy. I'm surprised because, okay, this is the first returning enemy I've seen in the trailer, because at first I understand none of these enemies are returning. Oh wait, no, that's an Avis. Okay, never mind. This enemy is originally new. This enemy seems to be repeating. This region looks a lot like the Leftarian Archipelago from XENOBLADE Chronicles 2. But that could just be a design reference. Whereas this looks like it may be the RFC. We have what looks like the Bionicist's head up along here. Yep, same deal here. When I saw this before, I saw these, and then this reminds me of a lot of structures we see in Primordia in XENOBLADE Chronicles X. Actually, this entire scene reminds me a bit of that, but they could just be reusing designs, so I wouldn't take that as evidence. But yeah, these things actually look like they would be from Leftheria. But yeah, we get a cool Leviathan monster, and we get a boat. Let's get back a bit. Ooh, actually, this is the same... We saw this earlier. This is the thing that was that face mechon we saw in the earlier scene. Where was it? Yeah, this is the same thing we see firing this laser. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Purple. Have we seen purple before? Malice's sword is purple in XENOBLADE Chronicles 2, but I don't know. We have that high Antia girl. This is probably the same scene from earlier. We have Scarf Dude with the birds. We have two Napon. That's high Antia girl. Actually, this guy's armor looks like the Indoline Praetorium armor. We have a high Antia person with a mask. I'm sure this is supposed to make us think of Tyrea in XENOBLADE Chronicles 1, but I'm not quite sure what it's actually supposed to mean. This girl looks a bit like Nia. Actually, yeah, she has the same core crystal. so that should be the same character. But with a mask, it may make us think more of Melia in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. For the scene, she has to wear that big mask, so maybe she has a similar role. And I think that's it. We close in on this beautiful scene. What looks to be the Nia character and the Shulk character playing a flute with Gormot's head, I believe, looking over the Mechonis' sword. Yeah, this is really, really nice. This is water. These look like bubbles, and this may look like it's supposed to resemble water flowing. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. Nor do I know what these symbols are, but, well, Nia's always been associated with water, so that could be something, but I don't know. And then release date of September 2022. So let's put it all together. There's a lot to unpack here. So it looks like we have basically a grasp of characters, or at least guests. So we have Starfleet with birds, Hyantia girl that may have the scythe. We have Nia character with twin rings. We have the Shulk dude with a Monada. We have this Indaline dude. I'm not quite sure if we saw what weapon he had. But yeah. And we have... Oh, yeah, sorry, he was dude with the shield hammer. We have this giant faced Mechon that appears to be part of the scenery, may wake up and shoot lasers. We have what looks to be some sort of civil war of some sorts. Sorry, just people fighting one another. Perhaps it's related with the face Mechon technology. Like maybe that technology is supposed to be bad. And we have... Well, we have Nia returning. I think that's the obvious thing that I should bring up and restate. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. We have this flute motif, which I'm not sure is what's supposed to mean. And yeah. One thing I want to... Oh yeah, we have collectibles that may resemble more Xenoblade Chronicles 1. We have theming that may resemble more Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And one thing that is absent here is the lack of the designs that are more recurring in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We have character designs that look more like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 as well. This may be slightly controversial, but I am much more of a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 designs than the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 designs. I think they're much more interesting. Like they're much more interesting and they much better serve the characters themselves than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like I really like the new Nia design. And it's much more modern aesthetic. Like it looks like they are going further into the future. Hey, so I'm editing everything else right now, and I've just told that the website got updated. So there's some cool stuff here. So let me just quickly show you some of that stuff. Basically, they spell out Ionios as this. I'm not quite sure if that means anything. I could try and see if that resembles anything, but yeah. And then they say that there are two nations here. So we have one nation which they call Kieves or Kevs, where they use mechanical technology, consisting of combat vehicles and small mobile weapons. So to me, that looks like those Mechon-based technology. And they also use that to refer to the blade-based technology. So this is a combination of the Mechons from Xenoblade 1 and the blades from Xenoblade 2. Later on, they say that we have 6 characters, and 3 of them are from this place called Kieves. So one is Noah, the Shulk-based character. And he's an officer who mourns for soldiers who've lost their lives on the battlefield. So we can assume those are the flutes they're playing, like maybe some sort of funeral service they give. Scrolling down, we have the character who I said to be the Indaline person, Lance. He's a friend of Noah with a great sword, also as a shield. He's the Ryan character, I guess. We have Uni, sharp tongue, rough personality, specializes in healing her allies in battle. I guess that's like the Nia/Fiora character gameplay-wise. And these are the characters from the place called Kiev, with their sort of blade-ish weapons and technology. And they say the other nation is called Agnes, which uses ether, a magical technology. With small mobile autonomous weapons that use ether technology versus the ones that are written. And they have 3 characters from there. So they have this character called Mia, who is, I'm going to guess Mia, but they don't say as such here. So Mia, who is also an officer like Noah, hence those flutes. So I guess those flutes are an officer thing. Tyon, a tactician, he's the one with the birds. And then we have this person, Senna, with this giant hammer. And yeah, so it seems to resemble a bit of what I was saying before. Perhaps we have 2 different nations fighting. One of them using this sort of mechon technology, one of them using both, and I guess using the other, and they're going to come together at the end. Yes, and they say the theme is about, where is it? With life as its central thing. So a lot of those sort of big hitting questions again in this game as well. Yeah, overall I'm quite excited. So this does match a lot of what I said earlier, but yeah, back to before Ralph. So yeah. So, bottom line, what do I think about this? I think we are in the future. So it looks like we are far in the future. We have a Nia character. We have things that are... We have probably some sort of conflict related to mechon technology, is what I would expect. But overall, we expect a lot of things in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but with a lot of theming and overall more similarities in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is what I would think. Again, I don't know this stuff. This is just a theory. This may also be wishful thinking because, again, I prefer Xenoblade Chronicles 1 over 2. But yeah, no matter what, I am incredibly excited, and I hope you all are too. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're excited as well. And next Dream Factor video will be this weekend, hopefully see you in the next few days. And then Monster Hunter video after this. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.